Hey, it's Matthew Reardon with Patriot News Activism. I'm here today with Leroy Truth with Leroy Truth Investigations. Leroy has a very important update to let everybody know about. We're going to talk about that topic here for the next 15 minutes or so. I'd like to welcome you, Leroy.
Hello there.
Hey, so what's going on?
All right. So I was speaking in the Senate Judiciary Committee room, literally speaking during my public speaking time, peacefully, as always, and directly. And Senator Stack didn't like the words I was using. And he's also the head of the Judiciary Committee of that whole circus. And so he didn't like the words, and sources have told me that the state police, he had a plan that he already had created with the state police to have me removed. That was already a done deal. Like anything he perceived that he didn't like, the police were going to very aggressively get me out of that building while I was speaking. I even talked to some other police officers previously, and I said, do you know, like, are you here for me? He said, well, they told us you were coming. They told all the state troopers that are guarding and assigned to the Trenton Capitol that Leroy Truth is coming to speak. And it said, yes. And it said, you understand, I always am peaceful. I come here, I speak peacefully, I speak directly about, the particular issues I want exposed or I'm exposing as a journalist, as well as an American. And so, I said, I'll be speaking today peacefully, just like I always do. And I said to him, if Senator Stack or any of them tell you to remove me unlawfully, are you going to protect my rights? Or are you going to be their personal police force or personal bodyguards? And he ended up being one of the personal bodyguards for Senator Stack.
So what did they do? I saw the picture, and I'm going to show the picture where you got the abrasion from everything.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain. And in the moment, and things happen very quickly, but I'm thrown to the ground at some point. My knee hurts a lot. It lost a few layers of skin. It's in a lot of pain. I'm limping when I'm walking. My shoulder hurts. My head hurts. I feel dizzy. My back, a lot of pain, especially lower back, and my left arm as well. Because the more aggressive cop was on my left side, like the major aggressive cop. The other one was aggressive, but the other one was 10 times more aggressive. And so, a lot of pain. And I just got to the Hoboken Hospital in Hoboken, New Jersey. And there's two critical things I'm going to share with you, Matt. One is I'm at the Hoboken Hospital, and guess who was, and I didn't notice if he was still here, but one of the other attendees said, Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala was a witness. He saw the whole thing go down. That's part one. Part two, the audio is on the legislature's website right now. Everyone can hear the audio. They don't do any video. But after I was violently removed from the Senate chambers and pushed onto the street, Senator Stack, head of the Judiciary Committee, apologizes to everyone there. He said, I apologize for everything that happened. Something along those lines. It may not be the exact words. Someone told me this. And he said something like, Leroy Truth and others are being paid by the political bosses in Hudson County, especially the past senator and mayor of North Bergen, Nick Sacco. I mean, he's out of his mind. He just sealed his political fate. He closed the door.
Wow.
It's a total lie. Again, I'm an independent investigative journalist. Now, Nick Sacco, of course, Mayor Nick Sacco, will be forced by Brian to do a statement, like a major statement. And so
I can't wait to see this video. So you said the audio is already on their website. So this video that you have that you just sent me, and I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna be pulling it up. But this video, does it not have the audio in it?
No, it has the audio. I'm just saying that they have it on the legislators. They only do audio, but mine has audio and video. And a number of people have contacted me who've seen the video already, which I just posted on Facebook. And they said, Leroy, it is insane what they did to you. And when they said, when we saw you sitting there speaking, you look like you could have been the head of the Judiciary Committee or a senator or a congressman. And it's like they were mind blown at the violence and egregious violation of not just my constitutional and civil rights, but my human rights to speak as a free man, which I am. It was crazy. And here's the thing right now, and last thing, and I got to get to the ER here, in a lot of pain, and is right now, because of Mayor Stack's actions, not mine. I went there to speak for the time I was going to speak, and I was going to, after I finished, I was going to sit down and observe the rest of the speakers. But because of Mayor Stack's actions and having a plan, according to a number of sources, that he had with the New Jersey State Police to send me a message. I heard they wanted to make it extra aggressive to attempt to send me a message, to attempt to intimidate me. And whenever they do this, it simply makes me stronger.
Absolutely.
And Stack, because of that, Governor Phil Murphy is talking about what happened. And he's talking about Leroy Truth. Attorney General Matthew Plackett of New Jersey is talking about Leroy Truth and what happened.
As they should.
All 120 senators and assemblymen and assemblywomen are talking about what happened. And Stack, what happened? Why did you do that? Oh, he's a paid political hack of Nick Sacco. That's what he keeps saying. It's a lie. He's been lying about that for almost 15 months now. And they're going to start looking at my Facebook posts on Facebook, on Leroy Truth. They're going to start watching my videos on Leroy Truth Investigations on YouTube. And they're going to see the truth for anyone who really is open, who isn't a slave of Senator and Mayor Stack. They'll be like, oh my God, this guy, Leroy Truth, is onto something. He's exposing the most corrupt senator, mayor, and politician in the United States of America, not just New Jersey.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a typical form of fashion. They gaslight. That's what these public officials do, is they gaslight. When they get caught red-handed, their hand in the cookie jar, they gaslight.
Now we're going to take a look at this video here. Comes off of Facebook. The camera is right near the table. And I'm not seeing anything that Leroy did wrong. I see a bunch of tyrants running the meeting that are trying to censor speech based on what they find as speech that suits them. Silencing dissenters. We've seen it all too often. So I would like everybody in the audience that's watching this, I'd like you to leave your comments on your opinion of what happened here in New Jersey at the State Senate today.
Ladies and gentlemen of the New Jersey Senate Judiciary Committee, I am Leroy Truth of Leroy Truth Investigations, reporting on YouTube and Facebook. And I'll just cut to the chase. This is a corrupt bill. There are certain elements that on surface seem good, but fundamentally it is corrupt. It is keeping the line without keeping the line. And so I know there are numerous members who are definitely in integrity here. Vote no, and at least on this you are in integrity. Vote yes, and we the people will know you're corrupt. Now, I come here before you today not only as an investigative journalist who has been investigating over 3,100 allegations of corruption against Senator and head of this very Judiciary Committee, New Jersey Senator Mayor Stack, sitting right here. I am here today as an American to speak about Bill 4142 as a defender of democracy, the First Amendment, the right of the people of...
Senator Sarlo.
Why did you interrupt me? Is this part of the United States of America or not? Am I free to speak? Why are you interrupting me, number one? You didn't interrupt anyone else here, and I'm speaking on Bill number 4142.
Senator Sarlo.
Let me just kind of help you.
I don't need your help. I want to speak.
I've been chairing committees here for 20 years in the legislature.
Do what they do.
The last thing we want to have a discussion and dialogue on the bill. We don't want to be attacking members on either side of the aisle personally. That's not how we do things here. I'm interrupting you. I've interrupted people as the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee for 14 years. So all I'm asking is to be as professional as possible. We don't attack anybody personally. That's not how we conduct business here. You haven't heard anybody who's testified today attack anybody personally. Okay? That's not the politics we want here. And to my credit to my members on that side of the aisle, when they have people come up, or oppose the things that we're proposing, it never, ever delves into that. If you want to do that someplace outside of this building, you can do that, sir. But I'm just going to ask you politely, as somebody from the Senate leadership, somebody's been chairing committees for 20 years, if you want to talk about the bill, otherwise you're going to be ruled out of order, unfortunately, sir. So if we want to hear from you about your concerns on the bill, but on the bill only. Thank you.
So you are trying to censor me, obviously. And I have a right under the First Amendment to speak about what I want without censorship or interruption, so I will continue. Now, I am here. Stop talking. Do this. Do this, Stack. Stop interrupting me. You are disrespecting me and we the people. Stop talking. I am in the middle of sharing what I wanted to share. I've been waiting 5 hours to share here today. You're the one interrupting me. You're the one breaking the quorum.
You're being guilty, Brian.
I came here today as an American to speak about Bill 4142 as a defender of democracy, the First Amendment, the right of the people of New Jersey to be able to vote as they want and not be swayed by corrupt, convoluted ballot design that favors those in the political machine. I am also here as a defender of the fundamental rights of every single American in this state, to assure that the people make decisions during our elections in our state, including that the ballot is designed in a way that creates a totally even playing field, regardless of candidate or party, and also attempts to destroy as to who becomes members of New Jersey committees, not the political bosses. Now, the bill which is before you today is an outright assault on the people of New Jersey and a blatant power grab by corrupt political bosses like New Jersey Senator King of Corruption, Senator and Mayor Brian Stack. Now, let's address this sham election bill 4142, which strips away the right of the people to elect their own state committee members. Now, why did you turn my microphone on? I'm talking about the bill. Why does Senator Stack, head of judiciary, keep interrupting me?
You're out of order.
Does the First Amendment still apply? Is this part of the United States of America, the Senate chambers? Yes or no?
Sir, I'm going to ask you, please. I think what we should do is you should step away for the moment. Recompose yourself.
No, I am doing fine. It was this guy here, Senator Stack, who interrupted me. I am in the process of speaking.
Accusing somebody of being something is not part of the bill.
Watch my Facebook and YouTube videos. It is all part of it because the political bosses are favored in this bill. He's the one who interrupts me, and then you interrupted me too. So all I want to do is continue speaking.
We just want decorum.
The First Amendment is still here.
Decorum here, right? And I think both sides, we just want some decorum here. We don't want this to translate into anything else. We're trying to have some decorum.
Senator Stack is trying to censor me. I'm not going to have it.
He's not trying to censor you. He's trying to chair a meeting.
I would like to continue.
On the bill.
On the bill.
Let's address this sham election bill 4142, which strips away the right of the people to elect their own state committee members in the party. Instead, it hands that power over to political bosses. Now, Senator Stack, who supports this bill, has built his entire empire on pay-to-play schemes, extortion, and so forth, because he wants to take away the right of we the people. Stop interrupting me. Does the First Amendment apply here or not, Senator Stack? Does it?
You're done. Stand up. Stand up. You're done.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on? Give me stuff. Now, why am I being taken out of this chamber?
We'll get it for you. Let's go.
No! You can hit his head!
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. Incredible. A complete attack on the First Amendment. We have the right to redress. That's a fundamental right of the First Amendment. Now, you were there talking about this 4142. Would you elaborate on that?
On Bill 2142, that is a corrupt bill that has numerous elements in it that basically change the ballots to make it easier for the political corrupt machine to stay in power.
Sure.
And it favors the machine, and it is redesigning. They want to redesign the ballot to favor the machine. And whatever, I don't know what he's saying. And then at one point, some other senator, like, well, you you can't talk about disparaging things about people. You got to just talk about the bill and, decorum. And I said, listen, is this still the United States of America?
Right.
Does freedom and the First Amendment, is it still applicable here? Because you're trying to censor what I want to say. And I'm going to say what I want to say.
Yeah. And then only, silencing dissent. We see that so often. Yeah.
Right. And my focus was on Bill 2142. However, it is literally the corrupt people that I'm literally talking to, and especially Brian Stack, because Senator Stack, he created that bill. He sponsored it. He's the only name on it. So I'm talking to the right person who did this bill to protect his power and the political machine, and also connecting the dots that he's corrupt, and obviously this is why he has created a corrupted bill that will be voted on.
Right.
So it's super simple.
So let's along those same lines, let's kind of get into another thing, and that's I believe you're probably definitely on the same page as me on term limits. Let's talk about term limits for a second, how important term limits are to help, keep the corruption out. With knowing that people only have a certain amount of time. I think that, you see some term limits in place with the feds, but you don't see really any term limits at all on the state level. And I've noticed that that's a really big problem right there when somebody could stay in office for 40 years, okay? Because the same people keep voting them in. I mean, that is ushering corruption in my opinion. You got to keep it fresh. And what's your opinion on term limits?
Two parts to that, Matt. We should absolutely have term limits, and it should probably be one term. Honestly, there's still going to be corruption because there's elements of the political system that is the United States of America that just simply lends itself to that.
Right.
However, when you have people who can stay in office for life, it absolutely breeds corruption. And when you have a political setup, a political criminal enterprise, which is the entire state of New Jersey politics,
right?
They're the ones who determines an office, not we the people. And Senator Stack does for the most part. And who he puts his votes, his support behind, they get elected. That's why Chris Christie got elected.
Right.
In fact, Chris Christie, I heard when he was Attorney General, when he was running for governor, sources have said this to me. I'm not saying it's true. The sources have told me that Chris Christie was going to indict Stack on corruption charges. However, sources claim, and I'm not saying it's true, but sources claim that Christie offered him a deal. He said, you get me Hudson County, which meant he would win the governorship, the Hudson County votes, and I won't indict you. And that is why supposedly Stack went to support Chris Christie, a Republican, and it shocked the entire New Jersey state, county, and local political regime.
Right.
So that makes total sense. And he's been in office for decades. You got state senator for like 16 years, mayor for over 24 years now.
Yeah, you can't have people staying in office and getting comfortable like that. And not expect. I call it trickle down corruption. I've coined the phrase trickle down corruption. It's an epidemic across the country.
I'm gonna expand on that phrase. Trickle down corruptionomics. Triple down corruptionomics.
No, trickle like trickle down economics, like trickle down how it trickles down. If you have a leadership problem, like
that's what I said.
Yeah,
trickle. It's not coming across clear in the fall. Like there used to be trickle down economics that people used to talk about Reagan, but I'm calling this trickle down.
Yes.
Corruptionomics.
Absolutely. It's it's no matter what, if you have good people, this is where you see like cops. Take a cop, for example. It doesn't matter how good that cop may be. The second that he turns a blind eye, and ignores something horrible that one of his fellow gangsters in blue in a clown suit does, it makes him equally complicit. All of a sudden that officer that may have been good turns bad. And that's the thing is this trickle down corruption. It puts people that were good people, it puts them in a spot where they have to choose to either turn a blind eye to it or face losing their job, some type of, retaliation. And so they generally always turn a blind eye, and that makes them, it makes them just as criminal, in my opinion.
You're absolutely right.
Yes. Another thing, this is maybe getting a little off topic of the state subject, but I believe that a 4-year term as president is not long enough. I think that's a waste of taxpayer dollars to bring a president in for 4 years that he doesn't have enough time to push his policy through and actually, make sure that it's working and then starts, working good for the country. I believe that a president's term should be no less than 6 years. You've got to give them time to push their policy through. Steadily switching up presidents every 4 years, all of a sudden, all this money is being spent on reversing the last president's policies. And so I think that's another thing that would really help our country is if we went from 4-year terms as president to a little bit longer. You got to give the president longer for his policies to go.
Now, I respectfully disagree, and because the presidents are still considered like kings, and executive, what do they call it again? Executive, not executive power, but kind of like that. Doing executive actions, that's what dictators do, and it's become normalized in the United States. I don't care if it's Trump, Biden, Obama.
I agree.
Clinton.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's a problem.
Yes,
but people have got to stop looking to the presidents, and we have to create some type of new paradigm that we can get altruistic people into office, because for the most part, they're not. They're self-serving egotists. Now, as always, I always want to say I will never paint a black and white. There are certain people in the state of New Jersey, United States politics, who are high integrity men and women. Now, they are not the average, they're not the majority, but they do exist. And because the system, once you're in it, you either turn, you're either corrupt already, you already know it, and most people will not get elected unless they get the support of the corrupt political system. I mean, that's a no-brainer there. But for a number of people who get into the system, they turn.
Right.
And the ones who don't,
it's because they're
pushed out. They're pushed out.
Yeah.
They're pushed out of the decision-making process of everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're pinned in a position where they have to decide point, possibly losing their job if they don't follow bad instruction. Yeah, that's we're on the same page about that. Absolutely. And it's good to have a topic that we can talk about, kind of, we don't have to have the same exact opinion on everything. I think that's a good thing to have discussion. That helps see things in different ways that weren't seen before.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important that we discuss things, and if everyone in the same room is agreeing, it means only one person is doing the thinking.
Right.
And this is key. It's important to look at different perspectives, and anyone can respectfully disagree on things even after sharing perspectives. It's okay. We can still be friends.
And that's all part. And you know what? As constitutionalists, that's what we push. Okay, I may not agree with somebody, but I agree that they have the right to feel the way that they feel about a certain issue. I mean, that's just that comes down to the most basic parts of our civil rights, our constitutional rights, is the right to feel a certain way about something. That's
right.
Very important.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't convince me on your perspective, I don't convince you on mine, we can still be friends. It doesn't change. If you're a man of integrity, and you feel I am as well, then we can have a good friendship. And even if we disagree on certain things. So so many don't realize that. It's just, it's nuts.
Absolutely. So tell me this real quickly. What do you think about the website, man?
Oh, website. I only looked at it briefly because I was at the meeting, but spectacular. It looked wonderful. You're freaking awesome.
Well,
I mean, you're not a wannabe. You're a bee.
I try to absorb more and more every time I do it. I'm self-taught on everything. That's how I've learned everything in life. There's been a need that's come up that I haven't been able to either have the person to do it or afford the person to do it. And so I've learned how to do it on my own. And that's where the website has come into play. The more I do, the more that I learn. You know, if I don't know how to do something, I learn how to do it. But yeah, so the next step would be to add some more articles in there. So if you can come up with some articles for me, so I can load them in. And
Oh, well, can you just take my Facebook posts, like the last 10 Facebook posts, and load them up as articles, because they're all relevant and timely.
I can.
Yeah, I'll play around with it. I'll see what I can come up with and send it your way. So I just want to know, how you feeling after everything? What are you doing? What's the plan now?
My knee hurts a lot, and not only are several layers of skin taken off, it hurts a lot. I was limping to my car out of the building, and my back hurts as well. So
Yeah,
I'm going
get that-
to
Get that checked out and get it documented, and that way you can, we got to start taking some serious legal action against these people. That's the only thing that's not really,
absolutely.
I've already,
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
oh no, I was going to say, I've already got a notice of intent to sue drawn up about this whole thing with the public records and about the illegal surveillance that was run on me by the city prosecutor over in Utah. I've already got the notice of intent to sue drawn up, and I've already got the whole entire complaint drawn up as far as the 1983 lawsuit. So, I'm sick and tired of this shit going down, and it's time to take action and make it stuff.
Yeah. Huh. Wow, man. That's good stuff. I mean, that's such an amazing tool, the ChatGPT.
Yep.
And one last thing I want to share is, I never went into this looking for lawsuits.
Yeah.
And then I didn't. I went here to expose corrupt politicians and to expose bullies and stand up to bullies. You have the corrupt politicians. They bully most people, not me. I don't let them. But they bully and retaliate with all kinds of fines, and they lose jobs and they get threatened. And so I didn't go into lawsuits, but there are so many that they have created.
Yes.
I never looking for them, but while I'm speaking, I've been arrested now not arrested. I was arrested once while I was speaking, because Stack said, I said words Stack didn't like. And then I was violently thrown out of 2 times. Once when I was praying in the Monumental Baptist Church a little over 3 weeks ago, while I'm praying, because Governor Phil Murphy and disgraced ex-governor Jim McGreevey didn't want me in the church worship service. That's unprecedented.
That is.
Like, ripped out of the pews, slammed to the ground. My Jersey City cops were pushed out to the street. Not arrested, no charges, no trespass. They did the same exact thing today. They panicked because of my words. They are so afraid of my words that they did the same thing. Instead of just, all they needed to do is listen. And then when I'm done speaking, then, I sit down, because I went there peacefully. When you see the video, I'm simply speaking. These are my words. And then the next speaker would have gone on. Instead of creating this entire circus,
Yeah.
they created.
Yes.
I don't create this.
Yes.
No, I didn't make them rip me out of a chair while I was speaking today
Right.
in the Judiciary Senate chambers. You want to talk about breaking decorum? There's you can't talk about Stack. It's breaking decorum. I don't have to follow any so-called decorum rules. You may choose to follow them. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, which, as I said to them, is the First Amendment applicable? Is this still the United States of America in these chambers? And I said, you're not going to censor me. You could say this, but you can't say that. No.
Yes. So, you're exactly right. And I just like you, and still to this day, I'm not going into anything looking for a lawsuit. Okay. The because the authorities that are supposed to take action have refused to take action, and my cries for help to the proper authorities have gone unanswered, what does that leave me with? I have no other option but to do what I can do to take the matter to the court. I've tried taking it to the authorities. You know, these last 2 videos I put out on the Patriot News Activism channel, the one today and the one last night, show exactly that. I did exactly what I needed to do to bring this stuff to the proper authorities. They refused to do anything. So I have no other option but to take it to the court. I have no regrets about filing lawsuits and taking it to the court, because this shit deserves its day in court. It needs to be heard. It needs to be dealt with. It needs to be run up to the proper courts. Get that just out and get it documented, you know, and that way you can, you know, we got to start taking some serious legal action against these people. That's the only thing that's not really,
Absolutely.
you know, I've already,
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
oh no, I was going to say, I've already got a notice of intent to sue drawn up about this whole thing with the public records and about the illegal surveillance that was run on me by the city prosecutor over in Utah. I've already got the notice of intent to sue drawn up, and I've already got the whole entire complaint drawn up as far as the 1983 lawsuit. So, you know, I'm sick and tired of this shit going down, and it's time to take action and make it stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Man, all right, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Caught red-handed, their lies laid bare. These public officials thought nobody would care. A conspiracy deep, but the truth's coming through. The system's cracking, now they'll pay their due.
Lies and corruption, they thought they'd control, but justice is burning, exposing their soul. They built this on deceit, but their cover is blown. Now the guilty must answer for the seeds they've sown. Down in Galveston, it started that night. Osteen and Doretti turned wrong into right. Said I was drunk, claimed the smell in the air, but no alcohol touched me, their proof wasn't there. They locked me up 11 months in a cell. Fabricated charges, a personal hell. They twisted the law, made me a pawn, but their conspiracy's unraveling, it won't last long. A growing plot, their power abused, but I'm breaking the chains, their lies are diffused. The truth's on my side and it's ready to speak, exposing their game, bringing justice to the weak. Caught red-handed, their lies laid bare. These public officials thought nobody would care. A conspiracy deep, but the truth's coming through. The system's cracking, now they'll pay their due. Lies and corruption, they thought they'd control, but justice is burning, exposing their soul. They built this on deceit, but their cover is blown. Now the guilty must answer for the seeds they've sown. Extradited from Galveston back to Lafayette. 2 weeks before trial, the lies were set. Then Ben Creekmore played his false hand, fictitious evidence in his corrupt plan. Judge Tolleson fell for the charade they showed. 2 years in prison, down a dark road. Osteen hit the stand, swore oath after oath, but his lies cracked under the weight of my growth. July 18th, they thought they'd won, but justice don't sleep, the truth has begun. Their house of cards is shaking, ready to fall. I'm standing tall, calling out them all. Caught red-handed, their lies laid bare. These public officials thought nobody would care. A conspiracy deep, but the truth's coming through. The system's cracking, now they'll pay their due. Lies and corruption, they thought they control. Sentence vacated, exposing their soul. They built it on deceit, but the cover is blown. Now the guilty must answer for the seeds they've sown. Candy Beavers, Hobie James played their dirty part. Conspired with Galveston to tear me apart. Jeff Busby sent false statements to the district attorney, and when the heat came down, it was so concerning. A snake in the grass hiding behind his crew, but the truth reveals everything they do. Their lies run deep, but justice runs deeper. Each betrayal exposed, the climb's getting steeper. They thought they'd silence me, bury my voice, but now it's my time and I've made my choice to shine a light, make sure these criminals pay. Justice is coming, and it's here to stay. I lost it all, but I've still got the fight. Damn right, the truth's a weapon cutting through the night. The Sentence declared unlawful, the order vacated. I'm vindicated, liberated, and of course I'm elated. Caught red-handed, their lies laid bare. These public officials thought nobody would care. A conspiracy deep, but the truth's coming through. The system's cracking, now they'll pay their due. Lies and corruption, they thought they control. Sentence vacated, exposing their soul. They built it on deceit, but their cover is blown. Now the guilty must answer for the seeds they've sown. Yeah, pour again. Damn right, the truth's a weapon. Cutting through the night. The sentence declared unlawful. The order vacated. I'm vindicated.
Well, the sun sets low on the dusty plain. Justice walks slow, but it ain't the same. The law can't reach and the sheriff's gone. So we take the reins and we right the wrong. The vigilance committee's here when the law ain't enough. We take it into our own hand where the road's getting rough. In the dead of the night, when the sky's turning blue, we make our stand, ain't no fear, we see it through. Outlaws hide in the hills so steep, but we track them down while the town's asleep. No badge on our chest, but we swore an oath. Justice and accountability, we want both. They call it the Vigilance Committee when the law ain't enough. We take it into our own hands where the road's getting rough. In the dead of the night, when the sky's turning blue, we make our stand, ain't no fear, we see it through. We ain't no angels, but we ain't the sin. When the law won't listen, that's when we begin. With a steady hand and a fire in our soul, we bring the justice, we pay the toll. They say it's a game that the brave must play, but the lines get blurry when the law won't sway. Ain't no judge, ain't no jury here, just the cold wind blowing and a voice you can hear. They call it the Vigilance Committee when the law ain't enough. We take it into our own hand where the road's getting rough. In the dead of the night, when the sky's turning blue, we make our stand, ain't no fear, we see it through. So when the law can't save you and you're all alone, just remember the Vigilance Committee, we'll be taking you home.
Hope y'all enjoyed that show. Make sure you put any questions that you have in the comments. And make sure you let me know what you think about everything with what's going on with Leroy Truth. Got several websites right now in the works. My website, of course, LafayetteMS.net. Make sure you go over to LafayetteMS.net. Also got one coming along for the Vigilance Committee. That's going to be VigilanceCommittee.net. And then I got Harvey Freebird. His is up and coming. HarveyFreebird.com. still making some tweaks, still making some changes to it. So be patient. But also got a new one coming for Leroy Truth. All right. So I'm not going to throw out the name of it yet. I'm not sure if he really wants the name thrown out, but be on the